Hey there, everybody, and welcome to Fearless Thinking, a podcast designed to help you navigate authentic leadership and the entrepreneurial journey. I'm your host, Michael Devous, and these are my thoughts, lessons, and insights from my entrepreneurial journey into coaching, workshops, motivational speaking, and of course, what I picked up from interviews with inspiring leaders and entrepreneurs along the way. My mission is to help people unlock their untapped potential by using fear as a catalyst for powerful change and growth, so they can step into the greatest version of their most authentic selves. All right, let's get into some fearless thinking. Hey, Fearless Thinkers, welcome back to Fearless Thinking Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Devous. This is episode 58. All my personalities coming together as one. Embracing your authentic self in business. Today, we're going to get a little personal about this. We're talking about the masks that we wear as entrepreneurs and the different roles that we play. How to find and embrace our true selves in the midst of it all. I love this chasing authenticity. I grew up in a world where lots of my opportunities came from, as an actor and a performer, learning to don different characters that came with different personality traits, came with different affectations, different response mechanisms. This was obviously fun because it was part of stage, it was part of character acting and building, but I learned to use this in business. I became very, very good at being a chameleon and adapting and adopting new personas and personalities for every situation that I felt I needed to. Eventually, it got to a point where somebody challenged me that I was being disingenuous, and it took me back a little bit. When I was looking at and examining, was that me being not genuine? And then examining those relationships with individuals and people that I know, and each one is unique. And I'm like, no, that is my skill set. My skill set is being able to deliver to you and gift to you a version of me that is unique unto you, our relationship. That's just one of the things I do really well. I can lean in and find the one little thing about you and me that makes us tick and lean on that hard and make that exciting and fun for us. And nobody else gets that. And they should. You and I, we're special, right? This is us. And I can do that for business, and I can do that for personal. And I think it becomes a really talented, can become a really excellent skill set and a talent that you can use to help you do better business, become more informed, be more interested and interesting to other people by looking and reading the room and navigating the room and the people around you so that you can be more fully aware and present and available as your most authentic self, right? Think about it. We're CEOs, we're marketers, we're the salesperson, the customer service rep, we're even sometimes the janitor, right? We have to wear many different hats and a whole cast of characters that are living inside of us, everybody with their own script, their own costume to help make our business successful. You have to put on those different hats. As an entrepreneur, you're required to, until you can afford to pay people to do the job for you. We have to wear those hats, which means we have to take on personality type, the avatar type, or whatever it is of that particular role in order to see it through and fulfill the obligation and the progress and the tasks assigned to that specific role, that specific character, right? What you discover is that you have the skill to use that same talent, if you will, for navigating other people in business, for leaning into an individual whose business model and character traits lean more towards this type of interaction as opposed to that type of interaction. And understanding that is a value add for you. That makes you very skilled and adept at communicating with other people, right? Making them feel important, because that's part of business, right? So the power of authenticity, talking about authenticity, this isn't an easy thing to do, by the way. We don't have a society that's really built on teaching us how to find our authentic selves. It certainly isn't built on helping you develop an authentic way of thinking and being. In fact, most of us have to succumb and accommodate so many different things while we grow up, whether that's standardized testing, wearing the same clothes to school every single day, fitting in with a clique or a group of individuals because that's what they wear, that's how they do their hair, that's what they like, that's how they do their makeup, whatever it is, right? You are conforming constantly to the world around you in order to feel like you fit in. And eventually you get to a point where you're like, that is not me. That's not me. This is me. And when you find me, that's the version of you we want to see regularly. And we're not used to letting that person out. We're not used to giving that much string to that particular kite and allowing it to fly, right? So that's something we want to work on. We want to make sure that that's genuine and valuable to you, because eventually once you get out into the world and you're bringing your dreams to life, you're part of it. You're the CEO. You're the face of the organization. People want to hear and see from you. That's why they got inspired in the first place to buy your product or your services, right? That's the magic sauce, really. It's you. And we want to make sure that that's easily discoverable, easily attainable, and managed easily for you, right? People crave authenticity. We're told this all the time, that they want that message you're putting on your social media. They want that. Why do you think this is? Why do you think people crave authenticity? I think it's because we've lived in a world long enough where it doesn't exist, where everything we're fed is BS. It's a made up, produced idea. It's a construct of somebody else's making to get you to buy something, eat something, wear something, drive something, love something, whatever it is. And I think we're tired of that. We're overwhelmed by that. We're saturated by that disingenuous messaging and advertising and media input and feedback, that I think we crave the authenticity. It's unique and it's breathtaking and it's refreshing. We want to connect with the real you and not some polished facade. Now that's tough for those of us in media, when we're used to bringing a polished facade because we've trained that person to get in front of the mic. We've trained their voice to modulate like this and stay down here in the lower register as opposed to being way up here. That's just part of what we've trained to do. And we have to peel back those personas. We have to peel back that facade for ourselves so that we can appear legitimate and authentic for you as well. That's a practice for me anyway. And when you show up as your true self, you build trust, foster deeper connections, and you can unlock real creative potential in others. So finding our authentic voice. Discovering your authentic self is a journey, obviously. It's not a destination. And it is something that you have to work on consistently and continually. Why? Because you will always change. I know people say, you don't change, da 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 da. It's not true, people. It just isn't true. Humans are built to change. The world is changing constantly. Every cell on this planet, every structure we have is constantly shifting, changing, dying, being reborn and rebuilt. There isn't a thing on this planet that doesn't change. Change is inevitable. It's part of who and what we are, and we will constantly change. And if we understand that about ourselves, then we have to understand we are constantly stepping forward into the next version of our most authentic self. And doing that is a journey, and it takes work and it takes practice. It takes time, introspection, and a willingness to shed our masks. But you got to know what your masks are, right? Now, wearing certain masks in order to appeal to certain audiences in certain situations, I don't believe that to be inauthentic. I think that's a strategy, and I think that's necessary under certain circumstances. And understanding that you have that mask, that's a tool. If you're wearing the mask constantly in the real world, that's a facade, right? If you're using it to hide yourself from the public, to hide yourself from other people, that's a facade. If you're using it as a tool to do a business deal, to engage with an audience, to get people to laugh, whatever that is, right? If you're using it that way, that's a tool and not a facade. So let's be clear about that. Understand your masks, because if you want to shed them, they're the ones you wear in private. They're the ones you wear in other circumstances, not while doing a deal, not while trying to read the room. So ask yourself these 4 questions. 1, what are my core values? 2, what am I truly passionate about? 3, what makes me unique? And 4, what kind of impact do I want to make in the world? Stop for a moment every time that you wonder whether or not you are donning a mask. Put those 4 questions on your phone, a little card or something, and pull them out and ask yourself in that moment, okay, Is this me? What are my core values? What am I passionate about? What makes me unique in this moment? And what kind of impact do I want to make to the world with this message, with this interaction, with this connection, with this group, right? Ask yourself those questions and you'll be grounded further in your unique, authentic space of who you are. These questions will lead to answers that will help you find your authentic voice. And integrating that authenticity into your brand becomes the next logical step, right? Your brand, it's hard, right, by the way, to develop a brand strategy around authenticity if you're constantly wearing masks and you don't know what those masks are and you haven't begun to ask yourself these questions. So in order for you to bring your passion, your services, your products to light into the world, and you want an authentic brand strategy around that, you got to get real with yourself first. You really got to make sure you understand what your core values are, how you are unique, what kind of impact you want to make, and what you're passionate about when you do this, right? Your brand is an extension of you, your authentic self. It should reflect your values, your personality, and your story. Most of us don't like to tell our stories. Most people are uncomfortable shedding our stories. In fact, mainly because I think a lot of us think we're bragging or nobody's interested in our stories. It's okay, right? Your story doesn't have to be this big grand thing, but you do need to know your story. You need to be able to tell your story from a place of authentic love, genuine interest, because that's your story. It's yours. It's real. It's valuable. Don't discount the value you think it may or may not have to the world because you're too afraid to share it with others. Also, don't brag. I mean, there's no need to list. It's not a laundry list of all your accomplishments. Your story is your story. It's about how you got here. It's about what things you had to overcome to get to this place in your life. It's about the journey you took when you stepped onto that road of entrepreneurship and decided you wanted to do, have, or become something greater than you are today. So share your journeys, share your struggles, and make sure you share your triumphs. 2, be transparent. Now, what does that mean? It means don't be afraid to show your imperfections and your vulnerabilities. Like the episode that I started, episode 55, that I recorded where I was like, hey, I took a break. I stopped recording in production. I stopped a bunch of things, and this is why I got derailed. I got distracted. The procrastination bus or whatever you want to call it, got in my way. And I'm honest about that. I have to be vulnerable and I have to share my imperfections with you because I'm helping to teach you how to do that for yourself as well as your team and help you step into a place where those fears no longer hold sway and sway over you and your decisions because you are being honest and with your imperfections and vulnerabilities. Now you've taken the power out of fear, right? Because it can't attack you. It can't shed that light on it and go like, aren't you ashamed of these things? No, we don't carry that. We don't carry shit. You can't make me hold that bag for you. I'm not going to do it. I know these things about myself. I know my imperfections and I know my vulnerabilities, and it's okay. They're part of what makes me me. They're part of that question we asked ourselves, what makes you unique? Well, those do. Those make me unique, and they're real, and they're valuable, and they're my super strength. Vulnerabilities is an amazing thing. It's a super strength. You should lean into it. Lastly, connect with your audience on a personal level. Sharing your passions and your interests and engaging with the audience genuinely in conversations is a great way for you to engage with that audience, find out where they are, see what resonates with them. Obviously, if you're going to do webinars or you're going to post and do engagement on social media, but you really kind of need a bigger audience. You need to be tapping into that and finding out who that is. But getting comfortable with doing that will help you develop your brand strategy around an authentic voice more often than not, right? And at the Ascend Hub, where we celebrate individuality and we actually encourage you to embrace your authentic self, if not help coach you on how to find your voice, how to pitch your sales, how to step into your authentic voice and be comfortable with a sales pitch, with a VC pitch, an angel pitch, with it doesn't matter, presentation, whatever it is, whatever you need to do, right? We can help you in your professional growth and your performance in order to get there and find that authentic voice and share it with the world because it's important and it's valuable. And we believe that at the Ascend Hub. We provide what we call a safe and supportive space for you to explore your true identity and connect with like-minded entrepreneurs, like valued entrepreneurs, to build your business, right, that reflects your unique brilliance. That's what you want to bring to the world. We're here to help you do it every single time. So if you're ready to ditch your masks, it ain't Mardi Gras anymore. And you want to step into your full potential, join the Ascend Hub today. Reach out to me on all the channels or whatever. DM me. Love to hear your story about it. Love to know what your struggles are with your authentic self. Bringing that to light. Do you struggle? Do you have challenges that you would like help with? Please let me know. I'd love to hear about it. And we'll get there. We're going to get there one authentic step at a time. So thanks for joining me today. I'm your host, Michael Devous. This has been episode 58. All my personalities coming together as one. So I think at last count, there were like 32. A lot of people on this committee. So have a fantastic rest of your week, and do something wonderful for yourself today. All your personalities, embrace them. They're the facets that make you the diamond that you are, to be honest. And that's a brilliant, beautiful thing. It's not just one side of yourself that we want to see. It's all the sides of ourselves. And we need to embrace them all, love them all, and make space for them. All right? All right, go ahead. Have a wonderful week and do some fearless thinking while you're at it. And I will catch you on the other side. Okay, bye.